Praise God. We're here with Professor Toto, and the question is, oh no, why did President Trump sign the bill, the stimulus bill? Is because Trump is brilliant, and he's here to take care of his people. He loves the American people, and we're going to hear about from Professor Toto on how to build your faith and have your trust in God and in the Constitution and God's chosen man for the presidency.
Over this bill that Donald Trump signed yesterday, I want you to take all your fears and I want you to wrap them up and I want you to put them in a suitcase and throw them down the river. Professor Toto is here tonight to tell you the truth. I've spent all day at this computer today because our students are going crazy over this stimulus bill that Donald Trump signed. When I get through explaining to you what's really going on, instead of being afraid, he was sending you a signal. He was sending you a sign of his brilliancy. And when you find out, there's one little 3 words that I'm going to teach you in a minute. You're going to, all your fears, you're going to go washing all away down the river.
Yes, down the river.
They're just going to go floating away down the river. Why? Because Donald Trump has struck. He struck. But before I get to that tonight, I'm not going to do nothing till y'all hit them like buttons and hit those share buttons, because this is news that all of our great republic needs. Now, before I get into the depth of that tonight, we have breaking news right now out of the great state of none other than Pennsylvania.
Yes, and that's what Professor is going to be bringing out, is how that Pennsylvania has discovered that there's a certification error on the audit of 200,000 votes. And this is going to be great for the January 6th, when Vice President Pence has to accept only legal certified votes. But Professor Toto is going to really bring the information to us here.
This news was broke about 3 hours ago out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Yes, Harrisburg.
A group of state lawmakers have been performing an extensive analysis of election data today, revealed a very troubling discrepancy between the number of total votes counted and the total number of voters who voted. At the end of the day, and I'm just going to make this real brief and real short, the state lawmakers of Pennsylvania are putting this report out. The state lawmakers, where they're saying they have a 200,000 vote discrepancy in Pennsylvania.
200,000 votes.
This has come after an extensive audit by the legislators themselves. Do you think for 1 minute these legislators are going to let their votes be counted on January the 6th? It's right here. I'm reading it. It's from Harrisburg. It's an official release, and it shows the difference in the number of voters. 200,000 difference. Come on, folks, let's get some more people in this classroom tonight. Now, I'm in Facebook jail, everybody, so I can't share it on Facebook, but y'all share it on Facebook for me. Get these students in here, because when I explain what Donald Trump did yesterday, you're going to get over all these fears. I hate when our students are in fear and anxiety. This is huge news. This is a game changer.
I'm glad you brought
This
that
is
up,
power
Professor.
in
Wonderful.
Mike Pence's hand. Now, let's talk about Brother Mike, old Brother Mike.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to see if I can show you something. I want to show you what all the news is reporting today. It's funny to me that today's headline news was yesterday's old news in our classroom.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. And I'm not going to
Good
try to
luck
pull
for
it
the
up on the
professor.
screen because my computer always freezes up, but
Well,
I'm going to go read over here. Matter of fact, it's on Microsoft News. I just happened to pull up Internet Explorer, and all over, if you want to pull up Internet Explorer and look at my feed, the first thing you're going to see is this huge headline down, scroll down a little bit. It says, does Mike Pence have exclusive authority on which electoral college votes to count? This is headline news. Nobody was talking about this yesterday, the day before. Nobody's talked about this in the major news market. It's not even been a blimp on the radar screen, but today it is on top news. Oh, yeah, it sure is. And
that's right. It's top news. I know on the 23rd, we were looking it up to see who was even disclosing Vice President Pence's checking the electoral votes. And now everybody's on top of this because of Professor Toto is making this. We're really coming down to January 6th when he is going to be making the decision, Mike Pence, on what are the legal, acceptable electoral votes for Pennsylvania.
And then guess what else is on top news today, everybody? Rasmussen, the popular Rasmussen polls. Well, let me read to you what they've made this new startling discovery. And here's their discovery. Are you ready? Yeah. Rasmussen is urging Vice President Mike Pence to ignore the 2020 election results when Congress moves to certify Joe Biden's victory in the Electoral College next week. It goes on to explain in detail to Mike Pence what little Professor Toto and all the Totoites have been saying for weeks now since we did the power of Pence. Now Rasmussen is telling him this is the way. This is the answer. Now,
this is the answer.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's old news to us, but it's big news today all over the news media. I want you to prepare, ladies and gentlemen, for everything we have been teaching you in this class by, I believe, divine inspiration, showing you the power of the United States Constitution, the clarity of that Constitution, and then even showing you some areas of federal law that's filled with ambiguity that can be taken advantage of, because we're a nation of laws. When a law is not clear, when there is gray area, then it can be decided by the presiding officer that day, which is Mike Pence. So we have huge news out of Pennsylvania, huge news from all the news sources today about Mike Pence. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I'm Professor Toto, your humble professor, and I love every one of you. I thank you for your gifts. People have sent up big packages. I can't wait to get into it, see what we got. And thank y'all for filling up that bed and breakfast where I'm staying in Washington, D.C. on January the 5th and the 6th. Y'all booked it up. This morning, I announced where I was staying. It is booked. You helped that patriot, that dear lady. Her business is struggling. You guys pulled out your credit cards, booked those rooms, and I cannot thank you enough.
And that's what we really appreciate, how you're supporting Professor Toto and the people God puts on his hearts. And me and my wife were just talking about this electoral votes with Vice President Pence. Thomas Jefferson did the same thing. He was the presiding vice president at the time of the election, and he had to pick his votes. That's how he won the presidency, on the electoral votes.
Before I go any further, I want to say a big good evening to a fine young man. He's Professor Toto's 5-star student today.
Yes.
If you're watching me, Benjamin,
yes.
I believe that is his name. Yes. His mother's name is Joan held. And they sent me an email that has just touched my life in a dramatic way. So it looks like Miss Joan adopted 4 children, I believe.
4 children.
And Miss Joan set those 4 children down and made them watch America 101.
America 101.
Now, if you're watching me and you've not watched America 101, you are missing out. It's on this YouTube channel, or you can go to our website, firstharvestchurch.org, and find America 101. So
that's what I'm telling my relatives. Get the children to watch America 101 on Professor Toto's.
All 4 of these children, she made them sit down and watch it. She told them, I don't want you to take any notes. I want you to listen to Professor Toto.
Yeah.
And she said, after you're done, you're going to write an essay of what you learned. Well, I want to try to show you Benjamin, if I can, real quick.
Yeah, that's
I just love our patriots. Nice. They are the greatest human beings on the planet. All these wonderful patriots. I love them, I love them, love them. This is Benjamin. Let's see if we can get a focus on the camera. There he is. That's Benjamin. Everybody say hello to Benjamin.
Hello, Benjamin.
Okay. What he's holding in his hands is the grand prize that he got from his mother for writing the best essay. He got a bag of gummy bears, and it looks like a little money. His essay, his handwritten essay, let's see if we can get a focus. There we go.
There we go. Nice.
He wrote this essay. It's 2 pages long in his own handwriting from America 101. And Benjamin, I'm so proud of you because in your first few sentences, you know more than most senators and most congressmen. Did you know that? Do y'all mind if I read just maybe 2 little quick paragraphs? He says, we are a republic, not a democracy or a monarchy. Our founding fathers were more scared of a democracy than they were a monarchy. We are a constitutional republic. We have an equal say in things because of the Bill of Rights. We have the right to religion, to bear arms. A majority would rule the minority. In a democracy, the founding fathers wanted to protect us from ourselves because everyone isn't good. Guys, I love Benjamin. Benjamin, you are smarter. Y'all look at here. Look at this young, beautiful boy. This boy is smarter than most senators from your state. Right there. Y'all give Benjamin your love right now. Everybody shoot him some comments. Tell him how much we love him over here in MAGA world, okay? All right. I'll be in Washington, D.C. January the 6th. It's been a long weekend. January the 6th. I'm going to be meeting every one of you. We're going to take selfies. We're going to give hugs. We're going to march together to the Stop the Steal rally. We're meeting at 11 o'clock at Union Square in front of the state capitol. And somebody is making me, let me go get their name, a huge Professor Toto flag. We'll be waving that flag. I love that. I think it's Terry Mack. Terry's making us a big Professor Toto flag. So when you see Professor Toto, Toto's army, you come running over and meet all of us, okay? All right. I've got to go. My son's on the airplane, and I've got to get him here in a few minutes. But before I get to Donald Trump's bill, and I'm going to explain it in 5 minutes or less, all your fears are going to go washing all away. Anyway, I'm going on vacation tomorrow. Tomorrow night, I fly out, going to Disney World for 6 days. So I will be limited in how I can respond. You know I'm going to be busy. 5 of us going, so I will be very limited. But I give you my word. I'm going to sneak off in my hotel, find a place, and we're going to still keep in touch with you guys. I'll try to do it every night if possible. They may be short and sweet, but we'll definitely reach out to our students. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump performed one of his most brilliant acts yesterday, and he did it with the stimulus bill.
That's right. That's right, Professor.
Now, before I go any further, I want to explain a few things to you. Politics is not easy. Politics is a game that everybody can't play. When you're the president, you have a responsibility.
That's right. And that's what I love the way the professor explains this, that the president is concerned for the people, for the families, the economy, you having enough money to pay your bills. And that's why the president is signing this stimulus bill, to make sure that the people, the citizens who he loves, are taken care of.
For your nation and their financial well-being.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is easy to sit back and play, what should have been done. Why did he do this? Why did he do that? Until you're sitting in that seat, you're really in no position to know what should or should not be done. Now, I say that most respectfully. The president is looking at the whole spectrum, but at the end of the day, Donald Trump has made one commitment to us, and he has kept it. Well, many commitments, but this one especially, to protect our economy and our way of life and our well-being financially. He has succeeded on that on every single level. So here's a president looking at his citizens, I would say starving, to the point of starvation.
That's right.
I get emails every day in my inbox from some of you that are losing your ranch. There's a dear lady watching tonight, probably. She's losing a ranch she spent her life as a lady saving up and building this ranch for children. Because she cannot pay her balloon note that comes due in February and she doesn't qualify for whatever government loans, she's losing that. She has a father with dementia, I believe, she's taking care of. She's losing that. Every day I get the most pitiful stories. Y'all remember the leather crosses you bought?
Oh, yeah, right.
That family business going out of business. Donald Trump has to sleep with that on his mind every single night. So before you judge this man prematurely, make sure you understand that our economy is headed to a depression if we do not get some money into this economy. However, Donald Trump knew $600 was not going to do it. He understood that. He knew there had to be more. The Democrats, they wanted to give $1,200 max. The Republicans, $600.
It's terrible what happens with the politicians. President Trump demanded $2,000 per person. That's a family of $4,000. And that's what we need. We need that finances to be able to cover our bills, so the economy does not crash. Just talking to my wife, we're looking at the stock market today, and she says, they're predicting the economy crashing, and we need the businesses to be able to stay afloat, you and me to be provided for, so we keep the economy, America, running properly.
It made Donald Trump mad because he fights for the people.
That's right.
He went and pulled a bluff on all of them, and every single one of them fell for it.
Right.
Now, I want to explain it to you like this. Immediately after he said $2,000, he sent it to the House with a bunch of red lines drawn in his proposal.
Right.
He wanted the pork cut out. He wanted this cut out. He wanted that cut out. But he went ahead and signed the bill, and it drove MAGA world insane. And I understand that because I was very concerned. But knowledge is power. And your professor found knowledge today. So I didn't understand why he did that. It looked like when he put those red lines through and said, we got to get rid of this, we got to get rid of that, it looked to me like wishful thinking, because according to the Impoundment Control Act of 1974, the Congress can basically ignore his suggestions or his demands. You're right, they can. At the end of the day, Congress controls the purse. So why did the president sign this away? And even more importantly, why would he sign it knowing the Insurrection Act was included in that?
That's right.
Why would he do that?
Tagged in.
Oh, I'll tell you why. Are you ready? It's real simple. According to the Impoundment Control Act of 1974,
1974, right.
this gives the president some power over the purse, not all power, but more than he had previously. Because the president can send this back with his desires, what he wants to see happen. He wants to see 230 Act. He talked to these guys. They agreed, if you'll sign, we will look at 230, Section 230. We will look at this. We will look at voter fraud. We will do all that. Just sign it. Donald Trump said, okay. All right, we're going to do that. But what most people do not know, what you're learning right now, is that this Impoundment Control Act of 1974 gives Donald Trump 45 days to sit there and play with everybody.
That's right. And that's what is the key issue. 45 days, President Trump becomes winner, president, reaffirmed for another 4 years. So he's got control, and nobody's going to be pulling things out from under President Trump, who knows he only needs to January 6th to see the electoral votes pull out Biden and proclaim Trump as the winner. But we're going to find out what happens.
They can play with everybody for 45 days. They can play with everybody for 45 days. Here's what he does. He makes these suggestions. He makes these demands, and they say, okay, we're going to do it. Send us the bill. He gets $4,000 per couple out of it.
$4,000.
And your children each get $600. So a family of four, that's almost $6,000 coming to you in about 2 to 3 weeks. You need to love Donald Trump instead of questioning the man. Trust Donald Trump.
Thank you, Donald Trump.
So for 45 days, he can play with that money and not release any of that money.
That's right. That's right.
For 45 days, none of the things that they wanted to do in this bill can be done, including the Insurrection Act. No money gets released from his Department of Budget and Management office. They release the money. Congress approves the money, but the president's office releases that money.
That's right.
People don't realize that. But he's got 45 days.
That's right.
To where he can sit there and hold all that money and hold all the power.
All the power.
He's got 45 days.
Now,
one or two things happens. 30 days, you supposedly got another president, right?
30 days.
You really think he would have enacted this if he didn't think he was going to be here in 45 days? He sent you a message, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you,
he sent you a loud message, loud and clear. And you just heard the truth at the conservative college. For 45 days, this money can be approved all day long. It ain't going nowhere. Unless
not going anywhere.
They decide to remove Section 230 like he wants. And unless they meet his demands, pulling some of this pork out, then he'll go ahead and release all the money to everybody. See, either way, he got you the money. In 45 days, you're all going to get it no matter what.
President did it.
Do you follow where I'm going with this? But for 45 days, nothing happens in this bill until, because the law gives him 45 days with this omnibus spending bill. See, all the power is in his hands for the next 45 days. It is unbelievable how brilliant this man is. He's telling you, trust me, I just got you more money than the Democrats wanted to give you or the Republicans. It's coming to your bank no more than 45 days from today. But it's coming because of me, your president. And possibly it's going to come with all my demands met so that this money will get released sooner. And nothing in the Insurrection Act, nothing else in that bill can come into fruition. Nothing until that 45 days has expired. You have learned the truth tonight, and I hope that right now you will share this truth with your friends all around the world. This is the truth. Your president is brilliant. I'm going to watch him win re-election in a few days. I'll be there on the ground, going live. I love every one of you.
Yes.
Please help me get this truth out to your friends, your groups. Hit that like button. We need thousands of likes so that YouTube cannot ignore us. So you make that happen. Before I go, so many of you have sent your love offerings to our church.
Thank you.
PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, and some by checks and mail. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm not going to call names out. You know who you are. I love you. God saw it all. And thank you. If you want to know how to follow me, go look in my description box. Every one of our handles are in the YouTube description box, and all of our emails, everything is there. Over 6,000 students here tonight, over 3,000 likes. God bless you, and what you have learned is the truth. I love you with the love of God. I'll hopefully see you tomorrow before I leave for the Magic Kingdom. Good night.
Amen. We thank God for Professor Toto for just bringing this out so clearly that President Trump loves the American people and has made the sacrifice of signing this bill, getting us the money we need to the American people's home to be able to live through this pandemic, and improve the economy and keep things working. We need a family to be happy, be provided for, and knowing we have a president wants to make America great, and support Professor Toto